Good evening, all. I hope you are all having an amazing day today. Yes, 2 days back we did our web dev seminar. So now it's time for the app dev. We have Dave, our app dev head, with our webinar today. I hope you guys will enjoy this.
Hello. Am I visible? Yeah. Hey, I'm Dev. I'm in third year CSC. I'm the app dev head. So I'll be taking you through the timeline of today's webinar on introduction to app dev. So at first, what we'll be going through is we'll be showing you the installation part in a short period. So for all of those who have not gone through the installation, you can see that. And then what you're going to do is we're going to make a project, a small project. We're going to basically make a new project, and then we'll be showing you how to enable USB debugging on your device so that you can run your project on that. And then we'll show you first how to run a project, and after that I'll be explaining you the file structure in the Android Studio, how it goes. So after that, most probably we'll be having a break, and then we'll make a app in which under 40 lines of code you'll be able to push two lines of data, or two fields of data on Firebase, which is a backend service. So it will be a short one, and this is how we go. And now we'll be shifting to Manan for the installation.
Hello everyone. I hope most of you would have downloaded Android Studio on your laptops as informed to you before. But if you haven't, this is a quick go through to the installation process. So to start with, first you have to type Android Studio on your favorite browser. Can be any of the browsers. And then you have to click on the link uh, in which the domain name says developer.android.com studio. So when you'll click on it, you'll be directed to a page, which is the download page itself. So here you'll get a download option for those who all are using Windows, and for those who all are using Mac, can scroll down, and here's the option for Mac users also. So those who are using Mac can download from here. So since I'm using a Windows laptop, so I'll be downloading it from here. So this is the license agreement. You have to select, you have to click on the checkbox and then download it. So an executable file will get downloaded. Since I have downloaded it earlier, I won't be downloading it now. I'll open downloads and right click on it and click on open. So the downloading process starts of its own. Just have to select next and then make sure this virtual device is selected. Then click on next and install again. Then you have to click on finish. As you can see, Android Studio has opened, and now I have to click on next again. Now if to select standard, make sure you select standard, and then you can choose any of the two themes which are available, and then click on finish again. So the process right here might take some time. It will take like 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll just quickly go through this process. So as you can see, when this process ends, you can click on finish and you're ready with your Android Studio installation.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Yeah. So now we're going to start. We're going to start making a project. So for at first we're going to open the Android Studio. So this is a welcome screen on Android Studio. To make a new project, we click here, start a new Android Studio project. And on this screen, we see various templates showing us the basic. If we want to create a oh sorry yeah. So after this is our first screen, which is a welcome screen. We have to click on this to start a new Android project. Now when we come here, we see various activities and templates with which we can start, but for now we'll be starting with an empty activity so that we can show you properly. Now we can, in this field, we can name our application. We can name it as, say, Coding Ninjas Webinar 1. Okay, so this is a package name. This whatever is, it comes by default. You can even change it, but let it be default. At this place you have to save your location where the project needs to be saved. Okay, and we can pick up our language as Kotlin or Java, but we will go with Kotlin as it gets the base latest support by Google. So we have to pick any minimum SDK, and we'll go with API 21, which is Android 5.0 Lollipop. That's also by default, and then we click finish. So it'll take some time to load the project for the first time, as it'll scan the files to index and the Gradle to run. What Gradle is basically a compilation tool which is used by Android and Java IDEs. So Gradle will take some time to run, and by the time Gradle runs, Gaurav can show you USB debugging on your device, how to enable it. So we can go through that.
Then look for about phone. In about phone, you can search whatever version of your phone you have. Like for me, it's MIUI version. For you, it may be Color OS or something else. So click it 7 times to become a developer. After clicking 7 times, go to additional settings. Search for developer options and look for USB debugging. And there you go. So now Dave will continue.
Hello. Yeah. So now what we'll be going through is we'll be going through the basic file structure of the Android Studio. So right now the Gradle is building here. It'll take some time because we are making this project for the first time. So it'll take a bit more long. Uh, it's taking a bit long. So what we can do is till the time the grader is learning, we can check the other file. Yeah, it's almost building. Gradle does take time depending on your system. For the time being, we can do this. I have another project with me. We can go through that. So while starting the basic file structure, what we have to do is our main Android project comes. You have to click on Android, and then you have the main file, all the main files here. So the first package. Okay, this is also built now. We'll go with this. So this one. Okay. So our first main package is manifest file. Android manifest contains all your main applications, activities, info. Uh, then all the label you have to give to your app name. Like in our case, we have named our app as CN Webinar 1. So this is a path for the app. I'll explain it later in the other file. And even the icon details of your app, it's stored here. And then the most importantly, you give the permissions for an app, like all the internet permissions or the camera permissions you give here in this file. And the other thing which you give is you decide which activity to go first when the app is run when app runs. So with the help of this piece of code, which is intent filter, you can tell which activity to go first. So this is the main file, which is a manifest file. If you don't have manifest file, your app won't run. So our next main package is this Java package. Under this, the first package is com.dbsrm, which is the package name. We have the main class files in which you code your logic and all those uh, basically the main logic code is written in this file, in these file class. So by default, when you run an empty activity template, the Android Studio gives a main activity which runs first. So in that, we have this class file, and we can add other files as well in this according to the name. These two packages we don't require as such because these are test packages, so we don't require it. And these are after development packages to do the unit testing and the instrumented testing. Next file, which is resource file, resource package. Under this we get four already generated, pre-generated packages, which are drawable, layout, map, and values. So under the drawable package, you basically store all your images, or for example, you have to give a background to a button or something. You can write it in a XML code, and then you can store it like this in the XML file in order to use it in the layout file. So drawable is basically containing all the images and all these files for your whole project. Now in the layout file, we basically have all the layouts of your app. Like in this pre-generated file, we have activity main. Um in regards to this class main activity, whenever this main activity opens, it will take us to this layout. Okay. Then the next package is mipmap. In the mipmap package folder, what we have is we have icon stored, which will be shown on the, obviously, in the icon. So all the icons are basically stored in bitmap. And then the value package comes in. Value package, there are three pre-generated files, which are color, strings, and styles. In the color folder, you basically define some of the colors. Like for example, we give we give a hex code, and we can give a name regarding to that. For example, they've given three pre-generated color values with these three hex values, and if we use color primary as a name, so we can use these three, and you can even add more to these. Then we use the string XML file. For example, in right now they've only generated a string with the app name which we're using in Android manifest file here, the CN webinar one @ string app name. So we're using this, and we're giving the string name here. So you can add more of the strings which you use often. And then the third one is the styles. So in the styles, what we do is basically it has a theme. Like for example, when you open your app, at starting it gives you a parent theme, in which this case is theme.app compact. In this, we change it from here. Like we need a light theme or a dark theme with the action bar. Action bar comes in this pre-generated file. Action bar comes with it. So with that, so we can change it from here if we want to a no action bar or a dark action bar. So after this, we see how to run how to run this app, your first app, on a device. Once again. Okay, so we're going to run this on my device. So when you connect your device, you have to basically connect it via USB, or after connecting to a USB, you can even install the apps via connecting through same Wi-Fi using ADB. But for now, we'll use USB. You have to unlock your phone and connect. So in my case, I have a Redmi Note 4 with me, and as soon as you connect, you might see an option to allow USB debugging. You should allow it, and you'll be good to go with the you'll be good to run your app. So now another thing, I'll show how to run the app. I'll mirror the screen.
देव थोड़ा zoom कर लीजिए.
Okay. Wait a minute. Yeah. So we'll be doing this. Okay. Now, what you have to do is we have to run your app from here. Basically, click the play button, which is to run your app and install it simultaneously. When now the Gradle will start building the project. It won't take long because we've already run it for the first time, which takes more time. So as soon as it builds it,
पेज तो और बढ़ा दो. Cool.
it's taking a bit long because we are even presenting our screen. That's why. Till the time we'll see some questions. Mm. So we see our build is successful here, and it will start installing it in a sec. See, you can see here that it asked me to install the app, so I'll install the app. So this is your first app in which we have a basic text layout. In the layout file, we have the text view, which is pre-generated, which is hello world, and this was the title bar which I was talking about in the styles. So we can even change this later. So with this, we have run our first app, and now we'll be starting to code in some time. So for yeah, so now we have seen the file structure and everything. I'll request you to log in on your Firebase through your web browser. I'll share the link. So in the new window will be, we can do this later, but we'll do it too. Okay, so you'll be, Firebase is basically a backend service just for mobile and app, for mobile apps and web apps. For the Google provides you various database and other services. So we'll be going to console. We'll be sharing the link, so you can just log in and keep it there. We can proceed with it later, but for now you'll just log in and keep it with you. I'll go with this. Just go to this website. Okay, so just keep yourself logged in here, and we'll start to code, and we'll explain you some basics. So in our first activity, uh, yeah, in this first activity, what's there is this override function which you see on create. This is basically a life cycle callback. What are life cycle callbacks? First we'll start with an activity. What is an activity? An activity is a screen or layout like this, what you see. This is an activity which you'll see, which creates some UI, and this activity has some life cycles which it runs when you start an activity. So in Android there are 6 type of life cycles, the different, like on create, on start, on resume, on pause. So this is our main function, on create function, which runs which will basically run our most of the code. We'll be using this extensively. This is the first function which runs on whenever an activity is created. So, and the override means it has to run by itself when the activity when this class is called main activity class, and this class inherits this app compact activity, which is a class for activity defined in Android Studio itself. So now what we do is we go through a basic layout. What we are going to do is one second. Yeah. Now in the we'll go in this activity main layout just to show you some things. Yeah. So there are 2 types of method to make a UI. One is to drag and drop, like in our case we can do it like, you can drag and drop this text. Oh, sorry. You can drag and drop the text view. This is one way to design a layout, and the other way is, one second, my laptop is, yeah, and the other way is to write it in XML. So for example, we want a button, so we can type button, and then we can code. So you can do it in any way you want. So for now, as it is a basic, we'll go with the drag and drop layout. This is the attributes sidebar. In this, whenever you click a field or something, it gives you all the features of that. If, for example, you want text to be colored or whatever, there are things. So in this, we have in layout file, we have different kinds of layouts. There are linear layout, there is relative layout, there is constraint layout you can use to design your layout. But for now, this is the most used, which is a constraint layout. we'll use that, and it is easy to use. You don't have to do much. You have to like just constrain it to the borders or wherever you want to. And then now we'll start with our own project. What we're going to do is, so we'll just delete this. We need three text fields, so we'll design three text fields. We'll just send this off. Okay, so we are going to constrain it to this two, and you need to constrain it to 3 sides minimum, otherwise it gives error sometimes. Now we need another one. The first one will be for an ID, to save an ID. What the hell? Okay. So we'll constrain it to this 3 side, and yeah. Okay, and we want another one. Yeah. So these are three fields, and we now need a button, a basic button to, when on clicked, it will save the two fields. So we'll again constrain it to this. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to give it a name. So at place of text, this is text. So at place of text, we can give it a hint. So what hint is, when like you see typing an email somewhere on Facebook or something, it basically shows you that it gives you a hint to type an email or what. So we'll give it as ID, because we need anything ID a number, and we'll delete this text name and we'll go. Okay. Now in this we'll do the same. We'll just delete the text and we'll give it a hint in which we are going to save our name. Okay, this is gonna be the third, and the last one we'll save anything like age. We can save age, so we'll give it as age. Okay, and remove the text. Okay, we have our three fields and the button. We'll name this. We'll name this text as save. Okay, so it will be save. Now what we have to do is, for our own convenience, we'll give these text boxes and edit text boxes and some IDs. Android Studio pre-generates some, but we are going to give it some good. We are going to give some good ID so that we remember it and we can use it in the main activity. So this is ID. We'll write it as ID field and press enter. So we'll do yes because it's constrained to others as well. Now in this we can write text. We can say name field and press enter, and then yes again. And then in this age field, and then again yes. Uh, Now in the button one also we'll write it as save button or something like that. Then save it. Okay, so we have these IDs. So our basic layout is ready, in which we are gonna save some, our details to Firebase. So now in the main activity, what we are going to do is, yeah. So as I told you that our main logic code is going to be in this on create function. So we are going to do the same. We are going to code. One sec, yeah. Yeah. So we are going to code in the same function. Okay. So now this we can see this is the button here, and the ID save button. So what we want is, we basically want, when the save button is clicked, it will read all these uh, fields and then pass it on to Firebase or the next activity which we want to go to. So what we'll do is we'll take this ID, which is save button, copy, and we'll go to the class which corresponds to this activity. You can see the set content view, which is to this layout activity main. What we'll do is which is a save button, same ID. Okay, now we are gonna call this set on click listener. Okay. Sorry. So yeah, it's set on click listener. Okay, yeah. So now we're done with this. So we have to import this. Basically, what now here what it's saying is you have to import this button from here. So what how we can do is on Windows, I guess you will do with Alt and Enter, and on Mac you can do with Option and Enter, which is also, and then click Enter import. It will import it here. See. So after this button is clicked, what we are going to do is, first of all, we are going to take this field text from these fields. So now I'm going to declare a variable. Now in Kotlin, you have two types of variable. One is var and the other one is val. So val is a fixed variable, and the var is a journal variable which changes. You can change it. So we'll use val here. Well, we give this ID, and then in the ID we are going to see the ID from here. This is ID dot field. Okay, now we'll do ID field. See, we can see it. Android Studio has already given us this, which is the edit text. ID field. We'll click enter, and then we are going to get the text from that field. So we'll be writing dot text. So you can see it here, it already gave us dot text, which is from get text. So we're going to get text, and this can be also used to set text. So for now we'll be taking the text and we'll say dot text, and then to string, we'll convert it to string. Now the other field is name. Okay, so in the name field we'll take another variable, general variable, that is val name, and then the ID was name field. So in the name field we'll do dot text dot to string. We'll do it similarly because we want the fields to give us the text. We need the text from the field. Next is our variable, which is the age. We'll take this as it was age field. Okay, age field. One second. Not set. Oh, sorry. Dot text dot to string. Okay, so we've done the same here. We've taken the text from the age field. So in Kotlin, whenever you have to declare a variable or something, you have to how you tell the data type is, you type it like this: age. You have to give it int, and then you can give anything like val0 or something. But oh, sorry. Okay, you have to give it like this. But for Android Studio, it already recognizes the type. So in this case, we are taking it as string as input. Okay, now what you're gonna do is wait. We'll see what we'll do next. Yeah. Okay, so now we want these fields to get stored somewhere in the database or anywhere. So for that, we'll be using Firebase. We are going to do it very basic. So how you'll do is, first how to create a new project and integrate is what's the time? If you want, you can take. We'll integrate it and we'll take a 5 to 10 minute break for if somebody has some doubts after integration. So we can do that. First, we'll just add a project. So how you do is, after you've logged in, you'll see this add project. So you'll do like add project, and the screen appears in front of you. You'll give your project a name. So in my case, I'll give CN webinar 1. Similarly, it suggests you some, but we'll go with our own, and we'll click continue. So what this is Google Analytics. You can even turn it off. This gives you some predictions or the user behavior, or whenever your app crashes, if a user is using your app, if it crashes, it will give you all the events, why it crashed and all. So you can use this, but it is recommended. For now, we'll keep it closed. We don't need it, and we'll create the project. Yeah, so our project is created. Sorry. Yeah, so now we can see our project is created here, and at the left you'll see the various services which Google provides you, like authentication, Firestore. These two are these both are databases, Cloud Firestore and real time database. So Firebase has database which is no SQL database. No, in NoSQL database, it is a non-tabular form. It gives you in JSON format. The data is stored in JSON format, JavaScript object notation format. So and we'll be using real-time database. I'm just letting you know the major services. Like you can even store images and all if you want to. If you want your user to upload your image in your app, so he can upload it and you can store it in this storage, and then you can even host your website or something from here. These are cloud functions, and then you can also use this machine learning. They have some pre-made ML models. You can integrate it. So for now we'll leave all these. We'll just go through our database, and before that what we have to do is in project settings. Sorry, in the main, we have to add a app. We have to basically integrate our app so it will know that. So how we do is we click over here on this Android. As we're using Android, you can even do it on iOS and even on web. And now they've given support for Unity in the last update, Firebase Summit. So in Android, we go to Android. Now, what is this package name? We have to give some details. What is this package name is? Now we go in Android Studio. This is the package name. You can see it from here. You can open it. They've told you to open it from this build.gradle. So this is the same package what you're going to use. You can copy it and you can take it and just paste it here. So this will know that it is a unique package, and in regard to that it can make your project, and it will integrate it. So we don't need these are optional. SHA-1 code is necessary when you when sometimes it when you have to do Google authentication, or sometimes it requires SHA-1 code. You can do it later. For now we are leaving it. You can give a nickname to your app. It's optional, but we'll give it webinar 1 and register our app. Now this tells Firebase tells you to download a configuration file uh, and paste it and store it in your project. So we'll download it. I'll download it on desktop. It is a JSON file which contains all your basically it's sensitive information like client ID or something, and we have it in yeah, we have it here. We copy it and we take it, and see they've shown that you have to go to project and then drop this file in under app folder. So what we'll go is we'll go to this top left drop down menu and you'll go to project. After you go to project, you'll open this package and it will have so many files. You'll open this app and then you'll click on app and then control C or control V. You can do anything. I'll just do it for you here. We can paste it, then it'll ask us to copy this file and make sure that it has this name, google dash services dot json, and then you click OK. So this is the information of your project, so Firebase project, and now it is integrated, not properly. Now we'll have to go ahead. Now we'll click next after this. Now it tells us to make some changes. I forgot to tell you in the file structure another file, which was this build.gradle. This is one of the major files which you require. In this file, what you have is, first of all, you have the information stored of your SDK version. Sometimes what happens is, when you use some library, external library, and it doesn't support certain SDK version, you'll have to alter it regarding to according to that. So you can do it from here, and but usually it works as default. Now, and under this, in dependencies, you store your all the libraries, or import, basically not store, import your libraries using this implementation, using this keyword implementation, and then the library. So in our case, first it tells us to go to project level build.gradle. So we'll go to this one. This is the project build.gradle. So first it asks us to import the Google's Maven repository, which is already there by default by Android Studio. We don't need to copy paste it. Now the other one is, under the dependencies, we need to give this class path, which is for the Google services. We'll just copy it and paste it here. Okay. And then this again, Google Maven repository, which is already there. Now we move down to this again, the other one, build.gradle, this one. Now we have to copy this plugin, okay, and paste it here. And as we can see, the other plugin which they've told us, that's already there. So we just need to add this plugin, which is com.google.gms .google services. Okay. Now in dependencies, we have to implement this. So this implementation is new in Firebase. This is Firebase Android BOM, bill of materials. So now when we will use database, we will again implement a Firebase database library. So nowadays what happens is, in Firebase, before, what we used to do was, when we used to import our library in this, for example, if we import the Firebase library for database, we used to define a version for that. But now what Google has done is, you don't have to define a version for each and every service. Like if you use auth, you don't have to give version for that. You just have to implement this first BOM. It will auto, and you have to just import a normal library without any version. It will automatically import the latest version using this. So they've made it better. And after we've included it, now we'll just sync our project. You can see, you have to click here and sync the project. It will take some time, and then we can click next. After this is done, you are ready to solve and follow. Okay. Or now we can continue to console. Now we let our Gradle build. So now we see our build is successful, and for now we'll take a 5 to 10 minutes break. And if you have any questions, you can uh, put them in the comment section over there, and we'll see all those comments for 5 to 10 minutes. If you have any error importing your uh, importing any of this library and syncing, or if there are some Gradle errors, because usually there are Gradle errors. So we'll have a break for some time. So somebody asked this question, how to run the app again. I'll tell you, show you. So somebody asked this question, how to run the app again. I'll tell you, show you. So somebody asked this question, how to run the app again. So we'll see how to run the app again. So now what you have to do is, once you connect your device. So somebody asked this question, how to run the app again. Yeah. So we'll run once you connect your device here. All your devices will be shown here. Now what you will do is, you just click run app, and then you will be good to. You just have to run the app. Once the Gradle is built, it will again install the app. I'll show it's already running. It will first run the app. It'll take some time to run the Gradle. As I told you, we are running so much, sharing my screen, and this mirror screening is also there. Yeah, so now the Gradle has finished. Again, I'll show you. It is asking me to install the app. I've deleted it, and again, it asks for that. But if I've updated the code and then I'm running the app, then it won't ask you to install it again and again. So now we made this layout so you can see this. So this is how you install an app. We'll start in 5 minutes again. Arsh, your question was before connecting our phone to the device, what we have to install in our phone. You don't have to install anything on your phone. You just have to you just have to enable your USB debugging so that you can install your application, your project on it. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything else. Just enable the USB debugging and switch on. There's a option to install the APKs using USB. You just have to enable these two things. It will be done. Next question, this guy. Next question is Shishwant D. Is Kotlin better than Java for app dev in Android? See यार, जो Kotlin है ना, Kotlin is basically, first of all, it is supported more now by Google. You'll get the latest libraries and everything. Google is not supporting Java anymore too much. And secondly, it is more concise and all. It is it compiles faster than Java, and they've given some new features to Kotlin, many new features which you won't get in, like in Java. You can There are coroutines in Kotlin which are basically used in multi-threading and all to run your app more concisely and fast. When you have many major functions to do, like in database calls and operations, when you have many operations to do, you can use coroutines to run it simultaneously. So I think Kotlin is better, and it is a future of native Android app development rather than Java. So yeah, I think it is Kotlin. Else it is a personal preference. Some people like Java, so I can't say that. So yeah. So somebody asked this question, which is, can you suggest some YouTube channel or so, or app developer like to learn? So there is a app developer named Philip Lackner. I saw him. I found him on Instagram. He's a really good developer. He basically makes really concise codes and with latest support which you see from Google. uh, I'll share the link if you want. You can follow him on Instagram also. He makes really good code and all. Like he codes really well, clean. He uses models and all. There are MVVM models and all. So yeah, Philip Lackner. I'll share the name. We'll start in 2 to 3 minutes again. uh, somebody asked this question, Techie Wing asked this question, that is there any way we can use Python in Android Studio? So basically, you don't directly use Python. I haven't seen anybody using Python in Android Studio for such as development. You can use C, C++ for Android development, but nobody uses it. I haven't seen anybody use it, but Google has still given you a library, which is native SDK library you can use, but I haven't seen anybody using Python. But there are some plugins and all which you can use somewhere. Like if there is a Python file or somewhere, you can include a Python file sometimes. But I haven't seen anybody use. I've used a mod. I've integrated a TensorFlow Lite model, but that was a custom model from like it was all a pre-trained model in Python, but not on Android. I've just integrated it, so you can add Python files and all. You can use it, but no, you can't code or something in Android Studio.
So we will be continuing back in like 2 or 3 minutes. So till that, if you want to do something non-technical kind of stuff, you can write your queries regarding club, regarding SRM, or regarding anything. Let's start because Arish is also there. Good was. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, so we'll start now.
Sure.
Yeah.
क्या बोलते थे ये अरे
भाई मैं 3 4 दिन की छुट्टी ले रहा हूँ.
Okay.
अब भैया
Yeah.
बोलने वाले थे
Okay, so now what we'll do is, now first we'll import our Firebase database library. So in order to use it, so there's another way we can do is, we can go to this tools tab, and then we can click Firebase. One second. Yeah. Okay, so this Firebase there's a Firebase assistant built in Android Studio to help you with the services. You can like just add the Firebase's library straight from here. So we are going to use real-time database here. We won't use Firestore. So okay, one second. One second. One second. One second. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Sorry for the interruption. So what we can do is, we can add the real-time database to our app straight from here. We'll click on this. It'll say us that we can add the dependency straight, and we'll accept the changes. Okay. and it'll automatically start building the Gradle layer after we implement a dependency. So we can see in this implementation, they've given the version with that. So I told you, as I told you, we don't need to use the version here. It automatically pick up the latest one. So we'll just remove that and sync it again. Okay, we can use this. KTX. We have to use this dot slash KTX as well. This for this is the KTX is a Kotlin. This is a library for Kotlin. These are special extensions for Kotlin later, so we can use these. Okay, so now once our Gradle is synced, we'll wait for our Gradle to sync, and then we can start. Yeah. So now, as you can see, our Gradle has done its work. Now we are going to the main activity again. Okay. So now we are going to go there again and see our main activity. Now what we are going to do is, at first we are going to give the reference to the database. We'll name this variable as ref, and in this we are going to call this, after we've done importing, will show. Wait, my Android Studio is working a bit slow. So otherwise, see, Firebase database. This has come out from the library. So we'll use this Firebase database dot get instance. It will get us the instance. Okay, and after we get the instance, we are going to make a reference where we are. कैसा क्या कर दिया? In the reference is basically where we are going. This is a path. We're going to give a path in which our data is going to store. So in our case, you see we have given this layout. We've passed the ID, name, and age. So what we are going to do is we are going to give an ID first. So in Kotlin, how you do is, when you give a string, you write dollar and then the brackets, and if you want to pass a variable inside inside the string brackets, you do it this way: dollar and then two curly brackets and then the ID we are going to pass. So we pass this, then we are going to give a path, like under the ID we are going to save these both fields, like name and the age. So now we have our path with the Firebase database dot get instance. We've got the instance here, and then we take the reference where we want to do. So after this, what we do is we take this ref dot and then we set the value. This is an inbuilt created when we have imported the library. So what you have to do is, now we have to pass a value, like where these two have stored. So in order to do that, what we are going to do is we create another class outside this class. So how we'll do is we'll write data class. We can use normal class as well, but now we'll use data class so we can store the data. And what you're going to do is we're just going to pass only two variables in it. But before that, we'll name our class. We'll name our class as user class. User data, we can do it. Okay. And under that, we are going to pass two of the variables. So one will be our name that will be string. I told you that in Kotlin how we describe a data type is by writing this colon and then the data type. So we have our first variable, which is name. Now in the second one, again we'll do age. We want the age to store, so we'll do it again. Valid string. We can do it int, but I'll take it as string. Okay. So now we put these curly brackets. So what now another thing, sometimes what happens is, if you don't now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write pass a constructor here. Constructor will basically what it'll do is it'll basically pass some initial values or some values by default, for in case if you don't pass any value through your phone or something, it will give it as null or something. So how we do is we in Kotlin, how you do is you just write the word constructor, and this is basically the context you are passing, that you are here, and then we have to pass two empty string values. You can either pass null as well, but I'm just keeping it as empty in order to do that. In order to do that, because we are doing it because we don't want our app to crash sometimes if you don't pass a value or something. So it'll be pass a default value as null. So now we've created our reference in the before another thing we want to do is we'll create another variable which we'll name it as user data, same, and we'll call this class from here user data. And now this class we've called it, you see it has changed this color, so we've called this class. Now what you have to do is we have to pass the name and the age in this class. So now you see we've passed name and age in this class. So whenever you change your value, for instance, your activity is created, you pass your name and age and save it. Now what you want another you want to save another one. You give another ID and save another name and age. So it will change all the time when you do this. So now we will pass this user data variable in this function. Okay. Now it is ref.set value. Now what we'll do is we'll do dot add on success listener. So and another one which is add on failure listener. These are basically callbacks which react to some code or like a part of code, like it will give you on whenever the task is successful, it will come under this one, and if it is a failure it will come under this one, and it will give you a result. So in this function, it which over here it is a parameter passed in this lambda function. So over here you can see there is it. So in it, it is basically will give you whatever your result is there. For example, after I do this ref.set value, if it is a success, it will give it, the Firebase will return it in a it. And if it is a failure, it will also pass it as a int, but it will be it will be basically from the exception. It will be the exception whatever is there. So what we'll do is we'll give it after it is successful, after we have stored our data in the database, what we'll do is give a toast. So what a toast is, uh, you must have seen in your Android application that sometimes you successfully registered, it gives you like there is a bar or something, a notification it gives you on your screen, that is a toast that you've successfully done it. You'll be able to see it on your mobile as soon as your data is saved. So we'll give it as toast dot wait, we'll take it as sorry toast. So okay, dot make text. Okay, so it's already imported the toast. See here, Android widget is basically a widget. So now what things you have to pass in this are, one will pass a context. First argument which will pass is, that is a context which says that you are here in this class file. And then what message we want to pass through the toast and what user need to see. So we'll write it as save data saved successfully. Okay, and the third argument will be the duration. So we'll do it toast dot length will be either short or long. We'll keep it short, so we'll write dot length short, and then we'll click dot, and we'll write dot show. It will show after this function has run, this lambda function has run. So similarly, in the add-on failure listener, what you're going to do is toast dot make text. We're going to paste the same code here. If you want, you can do this, and we're just going to change our message, which is data could not be saved. Okay, so if it is a failure, it will give us that data could not be saved. And yeah, so now what now yeah, now what we are going to do is we are going to go again to Firebase. Now we are going to set up our database here. We'll click here on real-time database. Okay, so you'll see here that there is create database. Now we'll create the database here. So now in Firebase you have security rules for database. By default they give you a logged mode and a test mode. In logged mode you won't be able to read or write anything, so we'll go with test mode. It is for a period of time. Then you can change it according to your needs, that if a user is signed in, you can give it in the rule that if the auth user is signed in, uh, he or she is he or she can access the database. So we'll enable this test mode for now. So let it load. So right now it is null because we don't have any data node or something in this. So, and I'll show you the rules what I was talking about. So in these rules it says that now until this is a timestamp, until that you can read or write anything, but according to you can your needs you can change it. So now we have configured our real-time database. Now we'll go and run our application to see that our data is saved or not. Okay. So now we'll run our app till the time I will. Okay, so now it's ready to install. Yeah, it has launched the activity. So now what you're going to do is we're going to give any ID, which is like we'll give it one. I'll type my name Dev, and then the age, anything. Oh, sorry, 20. And then we'll click save. Now you'll see data saved successfully. You got the toaster. Now we'll go and check in our database. We have our data stored under this node, which is age and name I have. So we have successfully stored our data. So you can even store it again if you want. We'll try once more. We'll give it something else too. I'll say the age 20. We'll save it again. So it says data saved successfully. So now you see we have another node, and we are able to successfully save our data now. Now, if you want, we can do fetch, but yeah, we have time. We'll first of all, I'll tell you how to push the data to GitHub from here. So in order to do that, first we'll go up here to VCS version control system, and first we will enable the version control integration. So in order to push it to GitHub, so first we will enable version control. We have other options, but we'll use Git for now. Like we prefer Git, and we'll click OK. So it will start updating it. So it has created a Git repository on our local machine. So next step, what we have to do is we have to go to VCS again, and now we have to commit our changes first, and then we can push it later. So first we will commit it. You can either do it by Command K or Control K for Windows. So we'll do it this way: commit. It is okay. So before that, yeah, you have to click first this and commit all the changes. And if you have to give a message here, we'll write it as initial commit. Okay, and commit the changes. So now we'll click commit to commit our changes. Okay, so we've committed our changes. Check the weld history. Yeah, we are done. Now what we are going to do is we are going to push our code to GitHub. How we'll do is we'll go again to VCS, and there's an option named import into version control. We'll go there, and there's option share project on GitHub. I'll click that. So for you, if you're first time, it'll ask you to log in. There will be a similar tab opening, and when you log in, you get this share project on GitHub. I'll name my repository the same as my project, CN webinar 1. If I want, I can keep it private, but I'll keep it as public. We can give some description as webinar project for mine, and I'll select my account. In my case, it's this, and just share it. So when you do it for the first time, it'll directly push your changes. Okay. Yeah. Now what we are going to do is we have half an hour. So one last thing we can do is we can try to fetch the data uh, in another activity. We'll do it a bit fast because we have a time constraint. So what we'll do is yeah, okay, done. Yeah, we'll create another activity. How we do is we go to the package name here, and we right click, and then we do it new. One sec. or you can click here and type command N, and then we go down. You can see here there's activity. You click here, then you have several options. We'll again choose an empty activity, and we can name it as data fetch activity or something. Data fetch. And when we have to click this, so in order to generate a layout file for it. So yeah, we'll just click finish. It's asking us to commit add these files to it, so we'll do add. Okay, now we have another activity. You can see we another activity has added. Gradle is running. We can't do changes in that. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fetch the data. How we are going to do is, first of all, we'll go to the layout. We'll just create a basic. We'll keep one basic text view here. Okay. And then constrained. How we can do is we can even do it from the attributes bar. We'll do it like this, and sorry, and this. Yeah. So now our text view is constrained. Let it be like this. Okay. So now we will give this text view a ID. Say fetched data. Okay, we are done. And let it be like this. Now we go here. Now, as I told, we will write our code in the on create lifecycle function. So how we're going to do is we can do it in another way. We can make a function fetch. This is a concise way to do it. We can do it similarly here as well. I'll show it later on. Okay. So first we'll make a function as fetch data, and outside this function we'll create this as private function fetch data. Okay. So whenever this on create function is called, which will be the first one to be called, it will call this fetch data function and show you the data. So again, in the same way how we did this, we created a reference uh, to the whole path. We'll do the same here. How we'll do is we'll create a reference firebase database dot get instance. Okay, it's asking us to import. Then again, alt enter. It has imported. Now dot get instance dot again dot get reference, and we define the path. So when we're fetching the data, we want all of these, right? So in order to do that, we'll just give a slash because we don't have such complex database structures right now. So we'll do it this. Now how to get a value is uh, what we'll do is we'll make a reference and then again ref dot uh, add value event listener. These are three type of event listeners which are there. So we'll go with the value event listener, and then we are going to pass an object, and it's telling us to pass this listener, the same listener, value event listener. So we'll pass it. Will basically listen all the database changes and then the curly brackets. Okay. Now you see we have some error kind of thing here. What we'll do is it's basically telling us that there's some error. So what we'll do is we'll how to resolve this is we'll click alt enter again. So it's asking us to implement some members. So we'll click again enter, and here it's asking us to implement these classes. So we'll click OK and implement them. So you see we have two override functions which will be called simultaneously. So the first function is on data change, which will reply as per the data changes, and you fetch basically your data under this function. And on cancelled is basically gives you error if there is a database error or something. So we don't need this for now. We use this. So what we'll do now is here, after this we get this snapshot through this function. Snapshot is basically the it will get you all the nodes, detail, all the collection of the data. So the whole collection of data. All we do is now, from this parameter or this variable which they have passed snapshot, we'll do snapshot. This is a collection data snapshot dot children. This is a mutable function, and then for each. So for this will get us the data for the whole, all of the nodes. It will basically get us the data for whole nodes. So now what we are going to do is, see, it has given us the result as it. This data snapshot has given us the result as it. So what we are going to do is, first we will store this data in a class. How we'll do is we'll create a variable the same we did it here. We created a variable and stored in it, and now same we'll store in it. How we'll store is, now they've given us this it as a result. We'll do it dot get value is an inbuilt function. It dot get value. Now in this we'll pass the same class which we used here, data class user data. So whenever the data we get from the Firebase, we can store it in some class and then we can use it. So in this we can do it user data, okay, and then class dot java, okay. So now we have stored our data in this. Now how we can do is, what we can do is basically we'll go here, we'll see id which is fetch data. Now we'll write here fetched data dot text. As I told you, we can get text, we can even set text using this dot text. Okay, so now we'll set the text. All we'll do is we'll call this variable data and then dot. So now it already knows that this class has age and name string. So first we want the name, and then we can use the age as well. Okay, and you see giving a bit of error here, dot red. What it is we have to put these two exclamation marks telling it that this data which we will get from Firebase, it won't be null. So app knows that, and it can react accordingly. So now we can give it a shot. And yeah, before that, before we do that, one major thing, if you want to go from one activity to another activity, how you do it is, so we want to go from our main activity to data fetch activity. How we will do is, we want that after we have saved our details in the phone for once and we have shown the toast as we have saved the data successfully, what we'll do is in this function, we have to use a class named intent. So what intent is, it basically helps you changing from one activity to another. So we'll use this class intent. We'll do it like this. We'll store it in a variable will intent, any name you can give, and then we can use this class intent the same, and then we have to first pass the context, which is again this in this main activity, and then we are going to tell the intent class that where we want to go. So in our case, we want to go to data fetch class. So it, see, it has come data fetch class, and then again class dot java inherit. Okay, now we are going to start the activity after we've stored it in a variable and pass this intent start activity. Now we are going to pass this intent variable. Done. Now what happened here is that after, first it will take us the details and then save it, and when you click on the save button, it will if it is a success, it will show the toast and then change your intent to this data fetch, and you will come to this activity, and when you come to this activity it will fetch the data similarly. So now we can try running this. It will work most probably. So now it'll start installing. As I told you, we don't need to reinstall it again and again. So it will automatically install and launch the activity. See, it has launched the activity. Now we'll give another ID, say 3, name DB age in 20, and then save it. See, we'll use data saved successfully, and then the fetched data is here. But if you see this, you'll notice that it has uh, fetched the data which is the only the last node here, with the name DB and age 20 here. But we want to fetch all the nodes. How we'll do is, we go here, and in this we create a array list, named array list, and then we will define the data type, which is array list. Okay, and press enter, and then we will tell what type it is. We'll pass string in this, so it will be like this, and equals to array list of function. Okay, so it is a variable, it will change. So in this case we'll comment it out, and how we'll do is array, we'll use this array list. Okay, and then we'll use this built-in add element function. We'll add all those elements in it, and how we'll do is data, the same thing we did it here. This same thing we did here was, in this case we are just adding in the array list. It will keep on add after each and each for loop is run. It will be like this. It will just add in the array list, and now outside of this function we'll just print it. Fetch data dot text. We'll set the text, and then the same array list. Okay, now we'll again, sorry, now dot to string, we need to convert it to string as well, the array list whole. So we'll just run the app again. The Gradle is building. Okay, so see, now it will automatically close your application and reinstall it or update it. Same one. Okay, so now we'll do it again. We'll give another ID named 4. We'll give name as Harit, and we'll give him 19 years of age, and then save the, and you see we have all the data. Sorry, this will you, this was basically the UI issue, that it's going the other side. It's not coming. Wait, we don't want this, and we'll go to 0 from here. We wanted 0 from here, 0 from here, and then again we wanted 0 from here. It will take you in center most probably. Yeah, we brought it in the center just for the sake of it right now, and we'll rerun it. Okay. It will run again. So now we again give something as 5. Now we give it as Abhinav and age 21. We save it again. Okay, again now you can see the data is saved successfully, and now we have fetched all the data, not just the latest one, latest node. We have fetched all the nodes, and you can see we've done it, and even in the database it is saved. So with this we are done here, and the last thing which I'm going to show is basically pushing it again to database, how you do it. So what you'll do is first commit the changes with command K or control K, or you can again go to VCS and do that, and we can change our message to data fetched or anything whatever you want, data fetched, and then we can commit the changes, and then we'll commit it, and then we can now to push the data on GitHub, what we do is shift command and K, or whatever is shift control K, or you can even go here to VCS, and in the Git you can push it from here. So shift command K, or you can push from there. So I'll select these and just push to the database or GitHub. So you can see it here. It has pushed the, you can see it has pushed the data. So we are done with our webinar here, which is introduction to app development. I hope you would have liked it, and for the projects and the task which you have to do for the recruitment process will be shown to you on our website tomorrow most probably, and you'll be given a period of time, most probably 1 week, and you have to complete within that and submit on the website itself. So thank you for now. Harit, I think you should. We are going to end our session here, and as I told you, your task will be shown on the website, and you can go there and select one of the task, and you can perform it and submit your submission on the website itself. Thank you for joining once again. I hope you liked it.